Good evening, one and all, for joining Pehchan, a mission to help identify yourself. We at Pehchan are a team of counselors who are helping people and the society at large, providing them with emotional support and counseling, especially for cancer patients, their caregivers, and post COVID, we are reaching out to uh, COVID patients and their caregivers, isolated patients in the hospitals. Even death has taken a very bad shape in the pandemic. People are having a very bad taste of death, so we are reaching out to the grieving, to the terminally ill, etc. Now, today at Pehchan, we have a wonderful guest, Dr. Nutan Rao. Nutan Rao is a well known uh, person in Bangalore, especially in the field of graphology. She is uh, worldwide known. Even in the field of astrology, she has her doctorate in astrology, graphology. She does handwriting and art analysis, fingerprinting analysis, tarot reading, dowsing, crystal healing, swara yoga, and pyramid healing. Graphotherapy and acupressure is part of her life. Counseling and career guidance, she reaches out to each and everyone who goes to her center, right strokes with right thoughts. She also does goal and vision setting guidance for all and sundry, whether it is a housewife, a corporate person, whether it is a uh, normally student, or anybody who's facing life difficulties, or somebody who wants to know the world of astrology or tarot, whichever you field, you name it, and Nutan Rao has an expertise in it. Not only that, being a BCom graduate, she started into a different field of work now. So she could empathize and understand people in all walks of life. So now I would request Dr. Nutan Rao welcome you to Pehchan, a mission to help identify yourself, and with her talk, we'll be spreading awareness about cancer and handwriting. So Dr. Nutan Rao, over to you.
Thank you, Alpa. I appreciate your mission and all your effort. Everything put together. It's a wonderful job.
Thank
So
you.
thank
Thank
you
you.
once again. And I welcome all of the people who are joined here. And it's my pleasure to share the knowledge what I have gained through all these years. It's been 12 years into my journey of graphology. So I came across with a lot of ailments, not only cancer, but so many other things. So I'll share my experience.
Yes.
Yeah. First, see here, most of the people are novice to the graphology or handwriting analysis. So it's my duty to introduce that science because for many of the people, it is just handwriting. No, how does it show cancer or other things like that? So
Yes.
first
Yes.
of all, what is that analysis? The basic thing. What is analysis? See, analysis means when you see something, you try to analyze. See, for example, suppose someone is very angry or sad, you will come to know, isn't it? How do you come to know? It's
Yes.
their body language. They don't put
Yes.
word anywhere, but it's the body language. The way they handle things in that anger may show or the sadness may show. So
Yes.
that is analysis. Similarly, when you write also, same thing, your sadness, your temper, your anger, other things, no, it may come there.
Yes.
Why? Because when you started your handwriting, one teacher has taught entire class in the same manner, but none of your handwriting is same. It is
Yes.
unique.
Yes.
Why? Because it represents your personality. Whatever the way you are, it will come in your handwriting. If a person is very tidy, neat, then handwriting also may show that perfectionism there,
Yes.
isn't it? So similarly, other things, what is going on, what trauma they carry, what is that pain, what is that hurt, everything, no, it comes. But why handwriting? See, all other activities of yours, it is not been recorded, but handwriting, when you have written, that time it is like store, it is put on the paper. So in future, whenever you see that time, so okay, when I wrote that day I was very sad, that day this kind of thing. That's how the analysis happens. So it is being studied for past so many years, it is centuries. 1600 AD first book has come. So it's like Second World War, First World War, all those time, they whoever were fighting and all, what is their handwriting, how it shows, what is that grudge they carry, everything. So scientist handwriting or other people like that, this science goes on. So basically, it is not handwriting, it is brain writing. The order comes from brain,
Brain,
how to
yes.
form certain, letters. So it is aptly called as brain writing. So it is our, graphic representation of one's interpretation of life, feeling about oneself and towards others. That will come in handwriting. So now let us see how the disease start. Okay. Any disease, it will start in our thought level first, emotions, feelings, non-acceptance, guilt, trauma, fears, etc. There it starts. Then it affects our energy level, where we feel the depletion. May not realize the exact issue, but we will feel low, somewhere, some kind of letharginess or no energy at all kind of thing. Later it reaches to physical level, where we may feel pain, discomfort, deformity, or other symptoms. Treatment normally given to the physical conditions. So sometimes energy level may be restored by various healing methods or by taking supplements like vitamins, minerals, etc. But root cause of our ailment, which is our brain, is never addressed. Hence, disease becomes chronic, and also it may attract other related complementary diseases. See, example I'll share. Most of these things are called as psychosomatic diseases. Psych means mind, soma means body. So because of your psych, mind, thinking, if it is affecting your body, that is psychosomatic diseases. One common thing is the leg pain, the arthritis, the knee joint, knee pain. It is fear of future. See, suppose in front of you, if there is a lion or tiger, you'll be frozen, isn't it? Similarly, if your future is like a lion or tiger to you, how it will be, where I will be, who will take care of me, all those, the fear, then your legs will refuse to move. So that is arthritis or, leg pain. Similarly, if the burden is too much, then spondylitis, if you feel I'm burdened, and if you're scared to look ahead, then the sight, eye problem, they can't see far in the future, far in the future. So similarly, other symptoms, it's the repeated chronic cough means they want to give back answer, or they have to, the scold or, give back. But because of the relationship, they can't, they are holding. So it comes like cough. So it is like, I want to bark at the world kind of thing. So those are all chronic diseases. That is why we have to see, we take cough syrup or so many other things. What's the use? Root cause, the brain. It is never addressed. So if it is addressed, some method to release such things practiced, then it will get cured. Okay. So now you understand that health conditions, they start in brain. So from the brain only handwriting comes. So when it comes out, it will show your health conditions. So handwriting traces the slightest disturbances in neuromuscular coordination, and the way strokes flow out of the writing instrument gives away a great deal about the health condition. It's not only the letter formation, even your choice of, the instruments, the way you start. See, for example, the left side, left margin, left side is past. If you don't leave the margin at all, if you start the beginning of the paper, that means you're stuck up in the past. So right margin is, right side is future. So if you don't go near the right margin, you leave lot of space, means you're scared of future. Easily you can identify from your handwriting whether you have that past, stuck up in past, or you're scared of future. So it's not only writing, the how you start, those things. Similarly, see, the warnings can come through our handwriting much before our body starts exhibiting visible symptoms of a particular ailment. Why? Because the ailment starts in brain. That is why. Sometimes 3 years before itself, it will exhibit. They are going to catch this kind of disease. No, they are, I mean, they are prone to certain disease, prone to stroke, prone to heart diseases, prone to diabetes, prone to this, cancer, that also we can identify. And our handwriting gives clue to physical, mental, neurological, psychological, psychosomatic, hormonal, and growth issues. Here one can identify and understand the root cause of any ailment, and accordingly treatment can be given. Okay. So from the disease part, let's come to today's topic, that is handwriting and cancer. Cancer may be strongly influenced by a person's reactions to stress, temperament, and habits. The habits also, I mean, smoking, excess consumption, addictions, and all, no, that may cause cancer. Psychological that unresolved resentment leads to cancer most of the times. Handwriting will show all these aspects long way before, and also it undergoes brutal changes during the illness and treatment, which are easiest to spot. See, it's not only before, during treatment, how they take the treatment, how positive they are, how, pessimistic or how optimistic, whether they are fighters as a cancer care, I mean, supporters, you call them fighters, isn't it? So
Yes.
whether they have that fighting spirit or not, we can identify. Best part is that we can alter our state of mind with the disease and be healthy through the handwriting therapy, which is non-intrusive, because there is no medicine, drug, and all. There is no side effect. So definitely this can be experienced. Graphical representation of some of the cancer in handwriting. See, some of the cancer I am saying because there are so many types of cancers. Not all the cancer thing is studied and the found out, identified. Basically, these things commonly we can see in any diseases, and especially in cancer patients' handwriting. Weak pressure variation in the writing, pressure variation will be there, difficult to read script, twisted strokes, and letters in all zones. I mean, three zones, I mean, upper, middle, and lower. So broken strokes and altered letters, they try to alter, and corrugative, very shaky writing will be there. Descending baseline goes down, that means pessimism, there is no hope left, that kind of thing. End strokes and letters plunging below the baseline, if they plunge below the baseline, it is given up, they think of committing suicide or taking away, it's okay, there is nothing left, it's a suicidal kind of thing. They may not actually commit the suicide, but not pro to the treatment, also suicidal only, according to me. Heavy eye dot is put very heavy, the very thick and very heavy. Ink filled ovals, ink filled C indicated lung cancer, I'll show in the sample. And strong resentment strokes, uneven blood flow, these are all common in cancer patients handwritings samples. So this is a resentment stroke shown in handwriting. Straight, rigid stroke from beneath the baseline. You can see these strokes, they are not starting from base, below the base, as if they're pushing, that is strong resentment they are carrying. So resentment is something you expect, you are, drinking the poison, expect other person to die. Okay. Something has happened to you, something wrong has happened to you, but the root, the where it has to go, the anger and all, instead you will be, it is my own fate, why did I go there that time, why did I wear such kind of dress, or especially molestation cases and all, we see lot of the, and uh, and many other things like fighting and all, they carry from the below, the from we can say from below our stomach and inside. So the resentment pushes them. So this, it is constantly carrying, this means it is clogging in its system or lymphatic system. So, and but please don't search only for these kind of strokes in handwriting for cancer, because sometimes these kind of strokes may not be there, but there will be stacking of strokes, other things like temper plus irritation plus jealousy, they all put together, they may be that may be, they also may be resentment. So expert help is required. You don't one sample I'll show here. This is, there is no resentment stroke as it is there. And this lady, she was 50 plus years when due to breast cancer. 14 lymph nodes were affected that time. It's been removed. And you can see the first arrow mark, letter E, there is one dot here in that, that dot is called as pain dot or surgery mark. So letter E represents your body portion from diaphragm, chest area, from diaphragm till here, ENT, till here. So whatever is happening there, whatever happened there, it will come in letter E. So here consistently letter E is showing that dot, pain dot, that is surgery mark, because lymph nodes were already removed. And next one is the letter A, that represents your shoulders and hands, because 14 lymph nodes were removed. So from her body, the lymphatic system, the drainage system, water retention happens, because it's not working without lymph nodes. So the cast is put on her hand, the cast. So it is always, pulling kind of pain. So that pain is showing in letter A. You can see there are pain dots, and even the stroke is the double kind of thing. And one more thing is, after 8 years of the first detection, it is next it one more, the tumor has come near her lungs, which was pushing the lungs, and it was irritating the lungs. If lungs get irritated, the what I mean fluid liquid gets filled up in the lungs. So you can see letter C, in that ink is filled. Can you see?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
In the top.
So that letter C ink filled, that represents the lungs. So the tumor which has come near the lungs, so fluid filled up in the lungs. Now that without chemotherapy, I mean surgery is not possible because it's near the lungs. So they gave chemotherapy, and because of side effects of chemotherapy, she was not strong enough to take up that. Because of side effects, she had a brain hemorrhage, stroke, and died at her 64 years, 63 plus years. So she carried resentment because she had been married to a schizophrenic person without her knowledge, and she endured lot of things in her life, but she never complained. She always, the thought that it is her own fate, but because she didn't cry or complain or blame others, it is she carried that resentment like a poison, and it affected her own body. Say something like this, the drainage system I'm telling, no? So what happens if your kitchen sink gets clogged? Say one dirt, two dirt, three, everything put together, it gets clogged. Now if you
Yes.
don't attend, then entire drainage system gets clogged.
Clogged.
So that is
Yes.
cancer. One area means tumor. If an entire area gets affected, means it is cancer. So toxins are not going out. So if you have anything, please release it. If time permits, I will share few releasing methods, how to do the releasing in this session itself, as a takeaway to home. Okay. These are a few quotes. The very often we think we are throwing burning coals at those who harmed us, but we forget to remember that coal burns our own fingers first. So acceptance and forgiveness are the only way out of disease that form through inner hatred or resentment. quite often we work only on overcoming our health challenges while we ignore the reason behind the health challenge. By working on the base of the problem, on our fears, we eliminate all chances of it ever recurring again and end up dissolving our fears and give ourselves the gift of a new and healthy life. I'll share a lot of fears here. What are the fears I'm talking? It's not about cockroach fear or driving fear. There are other fears as well.
Yes, please.
Holding up emotions and developing guilt within ourselves are the main reasons for diseases in our bodies and minds. In the same vein, releasing these emotions and unnecessary guilt is a sure short way of healing for our body and mind. Actually, I have written a book in that so many stories I had given. They are real stories. So the guilt, trauma, and non-acceptance, how it leads to a lot of other issues. And maybe next topic is corona or COVID, wherein I can say about guilt, trauma, and non-acceptance, which is affecting our body and attracting corona. So now that we know cancer, we can identify, or we can identify what they are going through, what is their mindset, everything. Is that sufficient? Because they also know that they are going through it. Th- there is need for solution, isn't it? Something
Yes,
to
yes.
take away. So that is called as graphotherapy. Graphotherapy means, graph means any kind of stroke, the graphical representation. So through that, if the therapy is given, it is graphotherapy. Scientific process of changing one's handwriting to affect positive behavioral changes. There are few Rangoli patterns kind of formations specially studied and designed for certain health issues. I'll share that later. They give immense energy and balance all the chakras of our body. See, while taking treatment, chemotherapy also, you need lot of energy and balance of body, mind, psychologically, spiritually, everything, that is required. This will help in that. Also, there is entire set of handwriting course which helps in understanding and changing our thoughts, removing fears, guilt, trauma, non-acceptance. Already I told left and right margin, and also it's not only handwriting, even removing those fears also. If there is no margin anywhere, that is fear of death, that way. So here are few fears, list of fears. Suppose someone feels he or she is becoming very ordinary person. So the trait name is individualistic. They want to stand out in the crowd. So they may do something to stand out in the crowd. So they may, show off something like a bizarre fashion, or, the very short dresses and all. So they may attract so many other things because of that. Fear of parting with truth, lying, it is. So normally when the health issues come, no, so first thing, the denial happens, self disease. No, nothing, it is the second test will go for, and there is nothing like this in our family, there must be something wrong, and everything. I'm very pious person, how can it happen to me, all that, self deceit. And same time, you don't want outside world to know about it. So definitely in handwriting, lying comes. So the lying is not our usual way of lying to people. It is this health issues covering up. Fear of being wrong or exposure. So uh, they feel, where did I go wrong, or exposure. So they become very argumentative, stubborn, or slow. Deliberateness and rigidity, you can see with the patients, they are denying and they are not non-cooperative and all that thing. Fear of looking bad and disregard, that is vanity. So what happens, if you have fear of looking bad, then definitely you will try so many things, all those things. Even the cosmetics, or the extra surgery, this, the implanting, this and all, that is dangerous, and mostly cancer causing things. People know that. So if someone has vanity, they are prone to this. Fear of ridicule or rejection, so they become very self conscious. So they may eat, because of that, eating disorder happens. So either they eat and vomit, that bulimia and anorexia kind of thing. So definitely they are spoiling their body. Fear of being controlled, looking for freedom, defiance. So if there is a gender bias or society, the biased thing and all, so they have that burning inside, how can this happen, that non-acceptance. So it affects the health. Fear of not being loved or losing someone who you love, that is in handwriting language it is called as jealousy. It is not commonly known as jealousy what you think, that is envy. But this jealousy means they have fear, am I going to lose someone who I love, or I'm not loved at all, no one loves me, kind of thing. Okay. Fear of disapproval or being wrong. They're very sensitive to criticism. Suppose someone criticizes, they take it to heart, very sensitive there. Fear of change, failure, or disapproval, low self-esteem. So this is a root cause of majority of the personality disorder, because they are scared of any change. That is why they underestimate themselves. Their self-esteem is very, very low. Fear of intimacy or lack of trust. Socially, they're very selective, or um, they don't trust anyone, they hold, the inside only hold, there is no one to share, kind of thing, that they only create their cocoon. Fear of losing equilibrium, control over the situation, that is domineering. If our self-esteem is low, this happens because, see, for example, your child will come and ask you something. So if you don't know the answer, if you are well balanced, the equilibrium is good, then what will you say? Right now I don't know, I'll come back, I will find out and come back. But if your self-esteem is low, you can't say that. What will you do? Is this the time to ask? Like that, you will scold the child and send away. So that is domineering. Fear of empty spaces or death, phobia it is. As I told, if there is no margin anywhere given in the writing, that is fear of death. Most of the terminally ill patients, they will exhibit this in their handwriting.
Yeah,
Fear of
Newton.
exposure. Yes.
Newton, I think the session will get over
Time is,
now.
yeah.
Yes. So we'll
Okay.
rejoin again. We'll
After
rejoin
this,
again. Huh. You complete this sentence, no problem. Another 3
yeah.
minutes, you can complete this.
Okay. Slide will be over by then, I guess.
Yes.
It's okay anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The graphotherapy
participants can
benefits.
rejoin with the same ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
The benefits of graphotherapy, it is one benefit is motivation to it is towards pleasure. Another is away from pain. So these are two, the motivator. It's a holistic healing wherein it works on changing our recurring thought patterns, bringing more energy and intensity. It motivates us towards life, increasing self-esteem and setting healthy, high goals. Immunity, health, everything it improves. Okay. Is it new to our society? No. See, acupressure points of our brain and pituitary gland is in our thumb. So by the correct position of holding the pen, the pressure point, it will stimulate your brain and it brings the health. If you observe poets and writers, they live very long. Have you observed? Why? Because they keep writing. You can write anything, even God's name also you can write, but bring the writing habit. It stimulates the brain, so it will keep you very healthy. Even illiterate people, they may have certain habits, something like rangoli, the knitting, making wick, turning beads, japamala, that everything, no, it activates your thumb points, which is really good for your health. See here as shown, you can see the brain point, the first one, so tip of your thumb, and there is on your wrist, there is lymph gland. So if you keep pressing that point, it is good for activating your lymph nodes. So the cancer patients, definitely they'll have a lot of pain here before the medication. So this point, both the hands, the lymph nodes, lymph gland point. And these are few patterns what we, the practice. There are 14 patterns, but these are a few important patterns This gives a lot of energy, blood flow, very, proper blood flow. And this, as I told, letter E kind of thing, this is the pattern in that. So all that Vishuddhi chakra, the throat here, all this area, it improves. And whoever has problem there, they struggle to form this formation. And inverted, this kind of thing, that is for relaxing, and one more is for sleep. So basically, disease, ailment means health issue, means sleep issue will be there. So
Yes.
this helps in
Yeah.
addressing that.
Yeah. Nutan will continue, rejoin and continue.
No, let
Okay?
it get over. No, let it get over. Big L shape, so it supplies blood to brain. So any brain related, clots or anything will come in this pattern, and it helps to, practically we have seen a person who had gone through this, and without, surgery and all, his clot got cleared. These are for digestive system. So any kind of digestive issues, this helps. If so, next when you join, you can ask the questions. So whoever is not interested in asking the question, they can remain. Otherwise, you can join back. So in any of these areas, you can ask. And if you want, I can share so many stories, what thinking led to what kind of, the cancer. So I can share the stories there.
So it was indeed a very wonderful sharing.
Yeah, thank
And
you all of you for
lot of
hearing
information.
patiently.
Lot of information, Nutan, lot of information. I think we can improve our writing and understand the areas where we need to improve ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. You can contact me also. I can guide you how to go ahead and all. Otherwise, just write God's name. I mean, make a habit of writing. That's it.
Yes,
First
that is
thing.
very important. See, generally
Yeah.
everybody says, na, we need to journalize.